I'd like to open up the August 1st, 2011 Morganton City Council meeting. I'm reopening it actually because we had a closed session with no decision made on an economic development matter. At this time, I'd like to welcome everybody, and I'd like to call on Sheldon Stevenson to lead us with our prayer. Steve?
I feel a little out of sorts wearing this jacket tonight. No one else is, but the reason I is because I'm covering up a Finger Lake. You know, where the Finger Lake's the most beautiful part of the world, and that's where I lived for a long time.
Second most beautiful part of the world.
Steve, you've already done enough. That's it. So you're going home.
Anyway, recently, when I look toward the future of the world and future in America, the future seems very dark for America and uncertain, insecure. Nothing seems secure. Honesty and trustworthiness are hard to find. Greed seems to be making all the decisions. And in my prayer, tonight, I asked God to help me to have something to be meaningful to say. And He told me to tell you that you are a light in the dark world. You are a light because you're honest. You are a light because you're trustworthy. People trust you and like you. You're a light because you work on behalf of all the people and not just the privileged ones. You're a light because you keep Morganton beautiful and wonderful and a lovely place to live. And therefore you are a light in the dark world. May we pray. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there's hatred, let me bring love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there is sadness, joy. And where there's darkness, oh God, let us be light. Amen.
Yeah. Steve, just so you'll know, our city council meeting in September, because of Labor Day, will be a week later.
A week later than Labor Day.
Yes. So it'll be the weekend after the festival.
September 12th.
It'll be the 12th.
Yeah, weekend after the festival. Okay. All right. Introduction of our city council. On my far right is Dr. Alfred Hamer, City Councilman Forrest Fleming, Steve Settlemeyer, City Attorney. I'm Mel Cohen, Mayor. Sally Sandy, City Manager. Larry Wistnut, City Councilman. John Cantrell, City Councilman. Kelly Russell, Recording Secretary, and Becky Brinkley, interpreting for our deaf community. Thank again everybody for coming. On public advocacy issues and strategies, I want, before Sally, she has something to say. Farmers Market continues on Wednesday from 2 to 6, and Saturday from 8 to 12. And the Saturday event is absolutely has grown by leaps and bounds. And if you're not going to the Morganton Farmers Market down at the Tannery Square, you're missing something.
Not at Tannery Square.
Depot. You're missing something that is extremely large and camaraderie, because I think people see their neighbors there. They don't see them at home. Also, the 30th Annual Historic Morganton Festival is the 9th and 10th, downtown Morganton. Should be larger and bigger and better than ever. It is unusual to be a 30th year around this state. We have Rodney Adkins, who will be entertaining free to the public on Saturday night. David Nail, an up-and-coming country star with songs on the charts, the country charts. David Nail is Friday night. There'll be all kinds of side things that are going on with gourmet cooking school on Friday afternoon late, and then and same thing on Saturday, cooking with your outdoor grill. be on the Morganton Federal Savings and Loan grounds. Those are reservations, first come, first serve. A lot of good things happening, and just watch for it in the newspaper. But it'll be exciting. Sally?
This year is municipal election year for the city, and we are in candidates filing period currently. And as we have done in the last several city election years, we will hold a candidates information session that will be on August the 15th, which is a Monday, at 5:00 p.m. in this room. And the candidates, at the end of the filing and during the filing period, will be getting something sent to them in the mail to remind them of that.
I'll get out a letter to the candidates that have filed next week. It's a great opportunity for them to meet the department heads, to ask some questions, to learn where they can go to get information, and during their campaigns.
I want to introduce Clinton, if you want to stand up a second. Clinton Long with us with Troop 184 of Morganton First Baptist Church. We thank you, Clinton. If you've got any questions of anything that's going on, raise your hand and we'll stop what we're doing and try to answer any questions you have. Thank you for being with us tonight, and come back, please. Okay, Municipal Power Agency, Sally.
Nothing at this time.
Consideration, I'd make a motion, we change the council meeting September 11th to, September 2011 to the,
From the 5th to the 12th.
from the 5th to the 12th.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, consent agenda, Sally.
Okay. The consent agenda before you tonight includes 5 individual items, and those are considered non-controversial. Would ask that the council consider those in one motion unless someone would like an item removed and discussed separately. For those of you viewing at home, those items include 3 sets of minutes. They include tax releases in the amount of $2,617.53. The bridge reinspection agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, where they provide inspection services for 4 bridges in the city. An engineering agreement with Willis Engineers for an upgrade project at the water treatment plant. That amount is $192,000. That is included in the annual budget this year. Along with that item would also be a resolution that would authorize us to reimburse ourselves that when we ultimately do a borrowing for this project. And the last thing is a professional services agreement for Phase 2 stormwater. That's with the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, and that is to have the Council of Governments provide public outreach and educational services in compliance with our stormwater permit.
Make a motion, we approve consent agenda as is. Second. Second. Discussion of any item, note. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Appearances, anyone in the audience would like to come before the Morganton City Council that doesn't have anything on the agenda later tonight? Moving on to new business, public hearing. I'll open up a public hearing to consider an economic development assistance and grant agreement with Equinus ASA Project Charlie in Burke County. Sally.
This is an economic development project that we have been working on in conjunction with Burke County and Burke Development. And we have Scott Darnell here tonight from Burke Development to talk about the project.
Just for your information, we're required to put a notice in the newspaper concerning economic development projects, and it was published on July 8th, 2011.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council. This project, you've probably been seeing a lot. There's been a lot of announcements under Project Charlie. No reason it was called Project Charlie. Charlie was a good day and picked Charlie. Equinus had approached Morganton and Burke County a number of months ago and was interested in locating their first U.S. manufacturing facility. The former Wamsutta Mill property that was at once a upholstery plant occupied by Frederick Edwards in the city of Morganton over near the Greenway was a property that was being temporarily sublet and qualified for the size requirements. and moved forward and worked with the county and the city, proposed a plan to locate the first manufacturing plant. We're happy to say it was successful. They made that announcement. The State Department of Commerce was involved as well. And their intent is to create 56 jobs over the next 3 years and establish their first U.S. manufacturing plant. A little bit about Equinix, Norway-based company, very well-known brand, has 6 manufacturing locations in Norway, so this is their first manufacturing plant. The plant's about 100,000 square feet. About 10,000 of that square feet will encompass offices, conference rooms, as well as a canteen area for the employees, locker rooms, as well as a product showcase room. So they'll be very engaged with their local dealers throughout the United States and start making their stressless sofa line at the Morganton facility. We're working now to upfit the plant. It should be in operation. Their occupancy should be around the 1st to middle of November. What we're asking for your support today is part of the incentive agreement. It's already been passed by Burke County, but the agreement was for a period of 3 years, 50% of their investment in the machinery and equipment, which is going to be between $1 and $1.5 million when it's all done. Be an economic development grant for a period of 3 years at 50% for the investment in that machinery and equipment.
50% of the tax value associated with
Yes,
that
ma'am.
investment.
Anyone in the audience would like to come before the city council and ask us any questions or make a comment?
Let me suggest to you on your motion that you add, and to the suggested motion that's in your package, if you would add to it, and to approve any technical amendments, corrections, or changes as reasonably necessary. That's our typical language, and I assume that this thing has been put to bed and everything is, all the i's have been dotted and t's crossed, but you never know. And sometimes we have to correct something in an agreement.
Make a motion to approve the economic development and assistance grant agreement with Equinix, ASA, and Burke County.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? I closed the public hearing, so.
Yes, you did.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public hearing to consider, and thank you, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Public hearing to consider a economic development assistance and grant agreement with Caterpillar Incorporated and Burke County. Sally.
This is more good news, and we are certainly proud to be sharing this news. As you all know, Caterpillar operates a manufacturing facility here located at 90 Ceramic Tile Drive and have been a corporate citizen for quite some time, and one we're quite proud of. They too are looking to grow their business and to make an additional investment here. And we have representatives from Caterpillar here tonight on behalf of this project, and this is another project that Burke County and the City of Morganton are working on together with BDI. As Steve suggested, we have advertised this on July 19th, as is appropriate. We will hold our public hearing tonight, and then the county will be holding their public hearing at their next meeting, which will be on August the 16th.
Have you opened it?
He opened.
Did I? Okay.
I think
A
it-
public hearing is open. Anyone wishing to speak for or against? Close the public hearing.
Make the motion to
Can-
approve a grant agreement between Burke County, the City of Morganton, and Caterpillar Incorporated to authorize technical amendments, corrections, or changes in the agreement as reasonably required.
I'll make a second on that, and Scott, come to the podium if you would. Okay, go ahead and.
I just wanted to say, it's been a pleasure to work with Caterpillar. What a corporate client they've been here. I know the city and the county was very engaged with bringing them to this community. One of the things that, is very encouraging is the commitment of both the city and the county to help our existing industries grow. Equinix will be a great corporate citizen, but to see our local companies continue to reinvest in here is a testament to the hard work of the cities and the counties, and we appreciate from the economic development side to have those tools and resources to encourage our local companies to expand. So, thank you for those resources going forward.
Thank you, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Mary,
This,
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's
This project, for those of you watching at home and in the audience, this project is to create 28 new additional jobs. It represents $23 million in new capital investment and is going to take place. And the agreement, the economic development agreement with this one, like with the other one, is a 5-year agreement, and that equates to 50% of the tax value associated with the new investment over those 5 years.
And I want to congratulate y'all, because I remember being in the big break room when we did did all the fanfare for the opening of it, and Sally was there, and we're very proud of Caterpillar and their presence here. Y'all have been a fabulous corporate citizen in participating in everything we do. And we're going to also have to say that, Mary, I'm going to hate to see you leave and retire. I know that's road between Rutherford and Morganton has been long some days, particularly in the winter. So, but anyway, we're going to miss you. Okay. Thank y'all. All right. I have a motion. I have a second. Any further discussion about Caterpillar? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Y'all are welcome to leave anytime you want to. Thank you very much. I'm a little bit feel bad about not making a comment about Lamanna, Duckworth, and our tax collections. Sally sent a memo out to us, and once again, Lamanna collected 99% of our taxes, unheard of in this economy. And we were really tiptoeing around because we didn't ever believe that she would get that same figure out of what was going on in our country today, and particularly in Burke County and Morganton, underline Morganton. So she did, and please tell her on behalf of the council how much we appreciate that. Okay. Let's see where I'm at. All right, other items.
No.
We got another public hearing.
Item,
WRS, really.
WRS,
yeah,
calling for
WRS,
a
closing
public,
the road.
it's another item.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Other item, yeah, okay. Call for a public hearing. It's, okay.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
It's just a resolution.
Okay, we don't do the public hearing?
That's out of
Okay,
You want me to take?
yeah.
This item is actually dealing with WRS Realty and the LLC that's been set up to handle the development that we just had a groundbreaking for and planned for the Henry Don Furniture Plant and that site. A couple weeks ago, we had a groundbreaking out there, and they announced their project and getting started with that soon. One of the things that has to take place with this in order for them to be able to take proper title to that property is there's a part of the road that has to be closed down permanently so that as they do their subdivision and create their development, the road that's currently there doesn't interfere with how that's going to work. And one of the things that is required for that is if you have interest in doing that for them, then tonight you would adopt a resolution of intent declaring your intent to close that. That will then be advertised for 4 consecutive weeks in the newspaper, and you would set the September 12th meeting as the night that you would plan to hold a public hearing
Okay.
to consider that.
I move to adopt a resolution declaring the intent of the city council to close a portion of Henderson Road and to call for a public hearing on September the 12th, 2001.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay. Consideration of recommendation to seek from North Carolina Department of Transportation reduced speed limit on a portion of East Union Street, Sally.
One of the items that was discussed this month with the street committee was some complaints that have been received concerning the safety of the intersection just up from City Hall here at East Union Street and White Street. And complaints talking about the limited sight distance when you're trying to cross that intersection with the cars parking down the street. Looked at several options. The Downtown Parking Committee also reviewed this since that is in their area. And what we are recommending is requesting DOT to lower that speed limit on East Union Street to take the lower speed limit of 20 miles an hour, consider that, starting that a block early, so that the cars coming in that direction would be going slower, hopefully. And then also to get city staff to install a mirror that would sit at that intersection on the pole to the left as you're sitting there trying to cross, and a warning sign that would be installed about a dangerous intersection. So those are the three things that we'd recommend for your consideration at this time.
Okay, I'll make the motion to submit a request to NCDOT requesting that the speed limit on East Union Street be reduced from 35 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour for that section located between White Street and Church Street.
Second.
Ever have a motion and second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, consideration of an ordinance creating a commercial loading zone and a new additional 10-minute parking space in downtown Morganton, Sally.
These are two items also that the Downtown Parking Advisory Committee discussed and forwarded on to the Street Committee of the Council. One is to create a loading zone that would be behind Garden Gate Flowers, and that would be back in the lot that's really on the corner of Meeting and King, more or less. And then additionally, to create a 10-minute parking space, we have several of those in downtown. This one would be in front of Payne Photography to allow load in and load out opportunities there.
Council, what are your wishes?
Motion to adopt the proposed ordinance creating a commercial loading zone and a new additional 10-minute parking space in downtown Morganton.
Second.
All right, motion second, any discussion of that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, consideration of appointments for vacancies. The first one being Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. I'd like to appoint Steve Gregory, reappoint Steve Gregory for his term to expire on 2014.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Board of Adjustment. Let's see. Pat Williams is a term expiring. She wants to be put back on. I make a motion that we reappoint Pat Williams.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
That is also a term
Yeah,
from now till 2014.
Yep. Consideration of an appointment to fill vacancies caused by the 2011 term expirations for the Redevelopment Commission. And the motion, Ricky Lingerfelt wants to be reappointed.
Second.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion, second, coming up. Who's second?
Second.
All right. All in favor of Ricky Lingerfelt, say aye. Opposed? Okay. And a new appointment of, make a motion, this is for to fill a vacancy on the Historic Preservation Commission. Mary Lou Furr,
Second.
make a motion, all right, and there's a second. Any discussion? All in favor of Mary Lou Furr, say aye.
Aye.
Her term will go to November 2014. And we've got two other items put in front of us tonight. The first one, consideration of an application for a certificate of taxicab franchise. Sally?
Claudia Morales has applied to Public Safety for a taxicab franchise to operate 3 taxicabs. And basically that's going to be headquartered at 1049 East Union Street. Has been through the proper background check and everything at Public Safety. You recall that our ordinance requires that you read these 2 consecutive months. So this will be the first reading, and it will be brought back to you again next month.
Okay. We don't do anything with that.
Do we make a motion?
Go ahead and make
You just make your motion to approve
First
the first
approval.
reading.
Make a motion for the first approval of an insurance of taxi cab franchise to Claudia Morales, Becerra Translation and Associates.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Chief, I know it's hard to ask you that but how many taxi cabs do we have in Morganton before this one?
2 franchises.
How many cabs?
Got 4.
Like 4?
Really?
3.
Very good. All right, we have,
You need to vote. You
Okay.
got a motion and a second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, last item on the agenda is consideration of the North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program grant, Sally.
Public safety is in the process of applying for a grant, assuming that we give them permission for this. They need to replace some outdated equipment that they use for the radar equipment for speed measuring. And there's an opportunity to apply for a grant through the Highway Safety Program. The grant would be $3,500. Our match would be $3,500. And our match would come out of the funds budgeted in the safety line item in the current budget that is approved. In order to do this, you'd have to allow us to make the application. We'd make the application, and then we'll hear whether we are approved for the grant or not.
I move to approve the resolution authorizing public safety to make application for the North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program grant.
Second.
Okay, we have motion second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Anything further from any of the councilman, manager, attorney?
I'd like to congratulate our Recreation Department on a very successful Red, White, and Bluegrass Festival and a successful season of the Aggies.
Very good. Very good. Meeting adjourned.